Hey guys, how you doing? Mark here. I'm ready to make a new dish. It's cranberry pork loin, and we're going to do it in a crock pot. And I'm going to apologize right now if I seem distracted. I got Missy in here with you. You guys would not believe how much this dog has grown over the last couple of weeks. I mean, she just hit her 3-month birthday. She has doubled in size since her 2-month birthday. Unbelievable. She weighs 35 pounds. Just kind of always gotta focus on what she's doing. Sit, Missy, sit. She just flopped on the floor. Okay, hold on, let me show you. There you go, guys, that's Missy. She is big. Okay, anyway, so tonight's dinner is going to be the pork loin with cranberries. And then I'm also going to make a Parmesan crusted potato. And then I'm also going to do a pan-fried green beans and garlic. So yeah, nice good meal today, but the crock pot's going to take about 8 hours. So I need to get this thing going because it's coming up on 9:30 and I need to get it going so we can have it for dinner. I'm sorry guys if you hear dog whimpering going on in the background. I had to stick Missy in her pen. I just can't watch her and do all this filming too. So she's in her pen right now and she does not want to be in there. Okay, so let me show you what I got going on the counter. Okay guys, I've got a center cut pork loin here, and this is a very lean meat. So there's not a lot of fat in this cut. And if you cook it in just a regular dry heat roasting method or even pan searing it, it comes out very dry. But we're going to basically braise it in a bunch of liquid in the crock pot. And what we're going to need for that liquid: half a cup of sugar substitute. Of course, I'm diabetic, I'm going with sugar substitute. I need a half a cup of cranberry juice, a full 14-ounce can of cranberry sauce. Now you can use just the gelled smooth version. You can also use the whole cranberry versions as well. I need 1 teaspoon of dry mustard and a 1/4 teaspoon of ground cloves. Okay, so this doesn't really get any easier, okay? We're going to take our pork loin. I'm going to get it out of the package here. You can go through and cut down some of the fat here on the surface. Again, I don't feel it's necessary. I'm just going to place that in the crock pot best I can. And if you have problems getting yours to fit, you could cut the loin in half and then just kind of stack it up on each other. I don't think I'm going to do that though. Rinse down my sink real quick. Wash my hands from that porkiness. Okay, so I got my pork butt in here ready to go. Now the rest of these ingredients we're going to put into a bowl right now. And once we get it all in there, we're just going to take a fork or a whisk or something like that and just kind of mash it all together. We need a half a cup. And it's about a half a cup. You know what? There wasn't much left in the bag, I'll just use it all. Cooking is not a science. Baking is. All right, now I'm going to use some cranberry juice here. Again, another half a cup. And I'll, of course, just drink that later. Nothing will go to waste. I can hear Missy chewing on something in her pen. I don't even know what that is. Okay, we'll just pull this out just like that. And then we need a teaspoon of dry mustard. And then just a scant little 1/4 teaspoon of the ground cloves. Now, cloves are very powerful. very powerful. And if I make this and I don't like it, more than likely it's going to be because the cloves are too high. I may have to cut it in half or something. Okay, so everything's in the bowl, and we're just going to start mashing it up. Does not have to be completely smooth. There we go. Just kind of get it all mixed together. Here, I think that looks pretty good. Just gonna pour it right over the roast. Just like that. All right, now I'm gonna slap the lid on and put it on low for 8 hours. Okay guys, it's been a little while now, and I think I can start working on the potatoes. I can have those prepped and ready to go, so all I have to do is just throw them in the oven. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, here I got a bunch of red potatoes, probably maybe about 8 or 10 of them here. And we'll get those scrubbed up here in a bit. I need about a half cup of Parmesan cheese, and I would say that's just about half a cup. 4 tablespoons of butter, and then a whole bunch of seasonings. I haven't decided what I wanted to do, but my daughter just was over not too long ago, and she says that we need to use this one. So that's actually the seasoning blend that I'm going to use to make our Parmesan crusted potatoes. Okay, so if you've never actually washed potatoes before, it's actually very simple. You don't have to peel them or anything like that. And in fact, I don't want to peel them. I want to leave the skins on. So I'm going to turn on the cold water. Doesn't have to be hot, just cold water. Got myself a nice clean green scrubby scouring pad, Scotch-Brite, whatever you want to call them. And you just run them under the water and scrub them. Just like that. That's all you got to do. I'm rotating the potato around as I'm scrubbing it. Just making sure I get all the sides. Now when it comes to these little roots and stuff that start sprouting up, no worries about those, okay? You just scrub them off. You don't have to take a knife, you don't have to cut them off. They'll just break off on their own. All right, the next thing I need to do is actually melt the butter. And I just want to barely melt it. I don't want it, browning or anything like that. So put that into a pot. Let's get that on the stove and get it melted. All right, there's enough heat in there now to melt that last little bit. I'm just going to sit here and swirl it around until it completely melts. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the butter to this bowl. Like I said, this is probably about half a cup. I'm not going to measure it. I'm going to put that in. And again, I'm not going to measure, but I'm going to do maybe a teaspoon and a half, 2 teaspoons, something like that. Tablespoon. Something like that. I've never had this rubbed. It'll be the first time I actually try this, so I'll let you know if it's any good. All right, let's take a little spoon, and we're just gonna mix everything around. So there we go, kind of a paste consistency. All right, now what I'm gonna do I want to cut these up in wedges or should I just slice? Don't know yet. Let's try wedges. So I'm going to slice in half the long way and then half again, nice wedge there, but then I'm going to slice those wedges in half. So basically I'm getting 8 pieces out of the potato and I just throw them right in the bowl. Even this little one, I should be able to get 6 to 8. I actually don't want these wedges to be too thick. I actually want them to be a little on the thinner side. I think that will help crisp them up a little bit. So these fatter potatoes, I'm cutting them into maybe like 10 pieces. I'm hearing Missy awake. So I'm gonna have to stop this pretty soon and go figure out what she wants. More than likely she'll want to be let outside. But I want to finish this up before I go take care of her. Okay, that's what I needed. Now I'm just going to kind of mix this all together. Try to make sure I get everything kind of coated a bit. Get that cheese and butter mixture on everything. And when it comes to the seasoning of this, you can do whatever you want. Like I said, I did the barbecue rub seasoning. If you just want to put garlic powder on them, that'd be great. An Italian seasoning would be good. Just anything you want. You know, I think garlic powder and oregano would work really well. There, I think that's coated out pretty good. Got a lot of it on my fingers though. I've got a parchment lined baking pan here. And I'm just going to dump everything out. And try to, you don't have to try to stand them up, but I'm going to, because I think that will help out in the browning. No, that one just doesn't want to stand. Because if you lay them flat on the cut sides, then you'll probably want to go through and flip them halfway through the baking process. And then if I find one that doesn't have too much stuff on it, I'll take a little out of the bowl and just smear it on. All right, I think that looks pretty good. All right, I got all the potato wedges ready to go. Now this can just sit in the refrigerator and chill out until I'm ready to put them in the oven. Dog wants to get into everything, don't ya? Okay, I got the potato wedges in the refrigerator chilling out, and this is something you can do a day ahead of time. So you can get the potatoes cut up, you can get them all seasoned up and ready to go. Sorry if the camera seems to be wiggling because Missy's down there on the legs. But yeah, once you've got the potatoes prepped, you can stick them in the refrigerator for a week. You can even freeze them if you'd like. But when we go to cook them off, we're going to do 425 to 450, somewhere in there. And it kind of depends on how thick you cut your potato. If you've cut a thicker potato, you actually want to go lower on your temperature at 425 and then cook it a little bit longer. And we're going to probably do about 20 to 25 minutes. Again, if you've done more potatoes or they're cut thicker, you may have to go 30, 35 minutes, you know, to get that nice crust. All right, so I'll come back to you when I'm ready to throw those in the oven. And I also want to rotate the pork, probably about maybe 2 or 3 o'clock or somewhere in there. I'm going to just kind of rotate it over. So as you can see, I got 2 cast iron pans sitting on the stove. So I got 2 12-ounce bags of green beans. I have 4 tablespoons of butter split in half, 1 for each pan. I'll use about a tablespoon of olive oil in each pan. I'll use probably about 2 to 3 teaspoons of lemon juice in each pan. This is garlic powder. This is stuff I actually made. I actually smoked the garlic and made my own garlic powder. So I'm going to use probably 1/4 teaspoon in each pan. Then salt and pepper to taste. You guessed it, in each pan. Okay guys, so it's about 25 after, and I want to give my oven a good 10, maybe 15 minutes to heat up. So I'm going to turn my oven on to that 425 now. And we'll get that ripping hot in no time. Okay guys, my oven's all heated up. We can slap these in. Setting a timer. I'm going to do 20 minutes to begin with. And then if I need to, I'll add the, you know, a couple more minutes if I have to, if I don't think that they're browned enough. Cool. All right, guys, so I think my meat is done. So I am going to take that out and get it sliced up. And I'm just going to put the meat right back in the crock pot. And sorry if you're hearing noises. My daughter and her boyfriend came over. And he's wrestling around with the dog. Right, so I'm just going to make about 1/2-inch slices. I really can't get it much thinner than that because this is just falling apart. All right, so there's everything all cut up, and I'm just going to stick it right back into the sauce, just so everything gets well coated. All right, let's try one of these little schnibbles. Not bad. Actually, with that the sweetener that I put in there, it's not as sweet as I thought it was going to be. All right, I'm getting 10 minutes left on my potatoes, so I'm going to start getting my pans hot. I'm going to turn them on to medium-high heat. And I think my back one back here runs a little bit hotter than my front one, so I'm going to go a little bit lower than that. All right, so yeah, I just got to now wait for this to start heating up. I can already put my olive oil in, just a tablespoon and a half, something like that. Once I start seeing that really shimmering well, I'm going to add my butter into it. I can get my lemon cut, get that ready to go. I'm probably only going to need the juice out of half of it. I don't know if I'm going to have to use both halves. Just wanted to make sure that the oil is coating the entire bottom of the pan. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put the butter in. Give that a few seconds to melt. Okay, I'm getting whiffs of smoke coming up, so that's a good sign. Put my green beans in. Squeeze the lemon into both pans. Oops, a couple of seeds got by me. A couple of pinches of my garlic powder. A good pinch of salt. A few grains of black pepper. Now I'm just going to let these sit for a little bit and really get a nice crust on the bottom. I'm going to rotate my pans a little bit to make sure that the heat is even across the pan. Usually you don't have to worry about cast iron, but still. There. Got the seeds out. All right, it's only been just a couple of minutes. I'm going to take them and flip them. Put these here. A couple of them fell out back there. There we go. All right, I'll just give these a couple more minutes to cook here, and just on that heat, just let them do what they need to do. And once the potatoes are done, I can cut the heat on these. All right, I'm gonna put down a heating pad to catch my pan from the oven. Another one, I'm going to actually combine the two, oh, hi Missy. The two cast iron pans, I'm going to combine them into one pan and just serve out of the one pan. Missy, come on, you're in my way. Yeah. These are looking really good. And in fact, I'm going to cut that. I'm going to cut that. Put these in here. Oh yeah, see, you got a nice little char on some of these pieces, and that's what I was wanting. Excellent, excellent. So, I can now take this one and bring that and set it up down here. Darn it, you know what? They're not done quite enough. I'm going to turn the heat up. I'm going to give them another 5 minutes yet. So now I've got my heat cranked up to 450. Missy, come on. Okay, you got to move. Look out. Look, come on. I don't want you to burn yourself. Oh yeah, that's much better. Okay, I'm going to turn the oven off. Move. Oh, ooh, hot. Oh, that is very hot. Oh, and my heating pad is cold, is wet. Oh, dang. That heating pad sucks. Ah. Whew. Ah, damn. But they look good. Yum, yum. Look at that, guys. Meat is nice and moist from sitting in the liquid. Those green beans look awesome, and the potatoes, oh, the smell of these potatoes is just unbelievable. All right. I always like to eat my vegetables first because they cool off the fastest. These have got to be the best green beans I've ever made, really. That smoked garlic and the fresh lemon juice, oh, absolutely amazing. Some of the potatoes, the cheese actually stuck them together. Not bad, not as crunchy as I was hoping, but for the quantity that I had on that pan, I should have started them out at the 450. I really should have. They taste good though. They're really good. They're really hot. And those crunchy bits right there, those are really good. All right, let's try taste of the meat here. I'm glad I sliced it and put it back in the sauce, because now the whole thing is just covered in that sauce. And it's not a very thick sauce. I can't even call it a glaze or anything. It's literally just a liquid coating on it, but it's really good. All right, I'm going to sit down at the dining room table because I wanted to film this there, but there's so much stuff on the table, couldn't do it. But this is Mark saying thanks again for watching. I hope you guys try this, okay? The whole meal, okay? The potatoes are awesome. The green beans are wonderful. And the meat isn't great, but it is really good. All right, this is Mark saying thanks again for watching. See you guys on the road. Bye.